Dave Martin of Martin Advertising. We'll meet the builder a little later as we take a closer look at this classic American wagon.
Just one of the best things that's happened to this company in a very, very long time.
This is the story behind Edelbrock's E-Force supercharger for late model muscle car engines. It's a system that adds over 130 horsepower to a stock GM LS3, over 160 to a Ford 4.6 liter, with only about 5 pounds of boost. The design, testing, casting, machining, and assembly of this breakthrough system all happens at a company with a 70-plus year history of high-performance innovation.
It's something that we're able to do because of what Edelbrock has here. We're not just a machine shop out here. We have a foundry. We have a heat treating system. These castings, and we'll show you, are very complicated, very hard to make. And if you don't make the casting right, then forget the rest of it because it's not going to work.
It all starts with the design. And the man charged with that is Rob Simons.
We always start on the computer with the CAD data of the stock vehicle. We can then go in there and then evaluate, how much room we have to work with, and then start to get some ideas on paper or in the computer of how we want to lay out the systems.
Now, when you look at a Corvette and you look at the engine, you wonder how in the world you could get all that in there. But Rob did that. He did a great, great job.
Rob's unique design allows for long intake runners, one for each cylinder, and that's what gives you tons of low-end torque. Well, from the computer design comes a plastic prototype, then a true functional aluminum prototype.
We print a mold out of sand, and that sand mold allows us to make a casting. And we'll make a one-off casting that we'll machine, and we can actually run that on the dyno and on the vehicle.
Today in the company's dyno center, Kurt Hooker is testing a competition prototype for the LS2 engine. Let's see how it does.
That torque is what lights up those tires and puts a big smile on the driver's face. So I'd say, Kurt, you got a winner, right? We can go on to the next step.
Which is, of course, in a vehicle on the chassis dyno. Only after extensive, successful testing can each E-Force version be ready for mass production at the foundry.
This is the casting. This is why we own our own foundry. You look at this and the complexity of it. When we pour this, the mold, there's 84 pounds of sand, coarse sand and green sand to make one of these castings. When we pour it, it's 64 pounds of 356 virgin aluminum.
See how heavy it is? Oh, man.
It's too much for my bag.
Mine too, I think.
We powder coated it, and now it's ready to go in this machine. This is a Makino A88 model. It's the largest horizontal that they make. And when we machine this, we'll take 2.5 hours, 47 separate tool changes. When this goes in, it's bare casting. When it comes out, it's completely machined. And this is where your rotors go in. Backing plate here that we get for Eaton. They're all clocked. 1/1000 tolerance. 1/1000. Your hair is 3,000. Now, Joe, what we got here is your casting now has been machined, then cleaned, and then it's got to come in here and tell us that everything is A-OK. The program is set up to where the operator mic here, he just presses that button and this thing goes in there, tells everything it's doing. It's all recorded in the computer. When it says it's okay, you know damn well it's okay. And we do this to every one.
Here's where they hand-assemble the manifolds with components like the Eaton Gen 6 4-lobe design rotors. Then after a pressure test, the self-contained oiling system gets installed and filled. It won't need servicing for 100,000 miles. Next, the dual high-capacity intercoolers go in place, followed by the nose with a low-restriction inlet tube. Then a small component with a big job when it comes to fuel efficiency, the bypass valve.
But what that does essentially is equalize the pressure on either side of the supercharger when you're not asking it to do any work. So if you're just idling or driving in traffic, light throttle applications, basically that bypass valve will always be open.
The kit includes all the other parts needed for an easy installation, plus a 100,000-mile warranty. So we've seen much of the creativity and technology behind the E-Force, but of course it all means nothing without the fun part, right? Yeah, that's coming right up.
You're watching Horsepower. For a DVD copy of this episode, just go to PowerblockTV.com.
Knows.
Targets only the gray in 5 easy minutes.
Anything else?
Just for men.
We're back after discovering some of the tech secrets behind the E-Force supercharger for late model muscle machines. Well, we saw performance proof on 2 dynos. Well, it was finally time for the ultimate test.
It's been a fascinating visit. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Joe. Great to have you here.
Got them for all these cars and more to come?
Got them all, and more is coming as we talk, and we're here, man.
All right, I guess that's it.
No, it's not it. We got to take you for a ride. I'm taking you for a ride, and then you're going to take me for a ride. Get in this car.
You promise?
All right, you got it.
All right. Sounds like bone stock right now.
Right, it does. And it is bone stock, except that pressure hasn't come in yet. You know what? I'm going to let you drive this now. There you go, man.
Okay.
Remember, I'm in the right seat. Nail it. Okay, I'm gonna make this turn now. It's definitely a sleeper. Wow, he's sleeping now.
I got a smile on my face. It's going to take a while to get rid of.
All right, it's time to check out this